Renamed in late 2020, there's a look at Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. 22 men ready to do battle. It's time to dance. And off we go from Seattle. On first down, they'll start out with Akers. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. These two teams, remember, met in Inglewood earlier in the year with the Rams coming out on top. So a win here in Seattle, tough as that may be, would give them the season sweep. On 2nd and 9, Stafford. That's out to the flat for Akers. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Ready. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run. This is Darrell Henderson. And he's got room. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Here's Stafford. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes, because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Off the fake to Akers. Here's Stafford. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Darrell Taylor. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week.
He's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Playing somebody new. Well, not nobody new, but somebody else. Other niggas scared to play.
Conversion. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. First carry now for the Memphis man, Darrell Henderson. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 39, Stafford. They'll set up the screen here to Akers. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area, and they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short. Henderson will try and run for the first. Give him 2 on the play there, and it'll be 1st down Rams. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
To the 27-yard line. Vision and speed, 2 of the attributes that you might say are important for a free safety, and we saw both in evidence there.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And the next-gen stats show him reaching at a top speed of 20 miles an hour. And he just throws this one away. That was a bit strange, and here comes the flag. We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. Stafford. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. Yeah, this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the first down right near the 24. Pitch and catch there good for 13. And that's going to make it 4th down. And it bangs off the left upright and deflects away. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. On play action, Lock. No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
What was that? Flip? The hell was that?
Wait a second. They declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how anytime you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Now, let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I got 2 leads.
They'll go again here with Akers. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Something like that. Sometimes they wait too long, I get like a day off. Yeah, I'm available. It's just beat them. They just ducking or like
and they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. And when you're doing with the fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Again, it'll be Akers. And nothing doing. He's being taken down at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as no gain on the play. And now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing and I
still managed to.
I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on, a big call coming on 3rd down. So they will decline that penalty, and that's going to force a 4th and goal. We're scoreless after 1. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Gay knocks this one through. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick,
I hate this shit.
Look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud.
Like every time I play somebody,
tendency to gamble
I get
shitty
results.
They can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to
walk back. It takes me out the game, bro, when the game go to playing like this.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Block off of play action. And this one too low.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Then he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line.
Yeah, they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Running left is Henderson, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams.
Darrell Henderson, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Rams are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
Here's Tariq Woolen bringing it out of his end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
He'll spot Eskridge open left side.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that will bring up 3rd and 1.
I got to make that. You know I got to cook dinner and shit.
How about the defense there swarming to it and not allowing that to
happen? This game here is fucking bullshit.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. The Seahawks send out their punter.
Back deep, Brandon Powell.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. They'll run on first down with Akers. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Back to throw, Stafford.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Now a play fake and it's Stafford. And that will be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon.
Back deep, Tariq Woolen.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This is taken at the 15.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. Now a play fake, and here's Locke. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
And the Rams will have solid field position here as they
Every
take
time this
over
nigga throw.
at their 45-yard line. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
2nd down, they'll go with Akers again.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Stafford now to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. Riley Dixon now to punt it away. This is taken at the 23. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had. The Walker hit and the ball is out.
But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. It'll go as a gain of 4. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Setting up the screen here, this is Walker.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Lock now on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And now off to the races down the right side. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, L.A. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that, in a great play for that defensive unit. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Woolen will return it from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it. Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Throwing on 1st down is Locke. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Walker. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter.
Woolen will return it from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play. And he loses the football a second time. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for. What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They fake the handoff, now Locke. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Walker now on 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Throwing on 2nd down, Locke.
Oh,
they're going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Here's Locke to throw.
Man,
And his
come
pass is
on,
intercepted
man.
for the 4th time today.
Well, I think everyone
Oh,
is
she
watching.
way
We're certainly
past
hoping to
me.
see
No way
things
she
get a
be
little
throwing
bit
it
better
that
for them in
fucking
this
short.
half, weren't we?
That
But it
low.
was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Jordan Brooks. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So now Stafford and the Rams after the sack. Now they're staring up at a 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Gay's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. But whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 56 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Now this time Locke will throw. Now Locke, he lost the football. It's out. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble.
The game, like, it's not fun. It just takes me out of it.
Watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember traffic, turbulence, people around you. 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have
that blue light you're using right now.
Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Stafford going to give this to Akers. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back.
Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And now the Rams have got it. Going the other way. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust.
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take the blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
Cameron Good in there to make the stop.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Dancing to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
So now Stafford and the Rams, after the sack, well, they're staring up at a 3rd and long. Now back to throw. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that will be incomplete. To the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. He's brought down by Terrell Burgess. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Lock going to throw. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Aaron Donald gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
On 3rd and long, it's Locke. And it is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Oh, I think there was a little too much heat on that one. He's trying to hit his running back out of the backfield. Normally you want to get the ball to them in stride. But here, this one's coming in hot. And it tips off his hands and into the arms of the defender.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Now Locke, gotta have this one. He's got his tight end Fant.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as the defense nowhere to be found there. A gain of 20 on 4th down. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on.
And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And now the Rams have got it going the other way. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. A carry by Henderson to start the drive. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
Boye Mafe got through the line like a knife through butter. He buries him for a loss.
And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Hey, 22!
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Stafford.
That's into the hands of Akers, complete.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially
if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Stafford to Higbee there. Rams first down. From the shotgun, here's a give to Akers. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. On Stafford for the 3rd time is intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
Walker hit and the ball is out. And he's got some space here. How did he stay on his feet? He's at the 40. The 20. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Well, that didn't take long. 1 play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Here's Walker. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Again, Walker. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against them and try and get some points on the board.
And I'm curious on the defensive side if they stay aggressive, because you know they want to pitch this shutout.
Yeah, they have to be aggressive, but they also have to be smart about it as well, because one mistake can turn into 6 points.
Ball at the 6, 3rd and goal. They'll try and run Walker. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end zone.
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
So the L.A. Rams with a victory here. Charles, so for this losing side, their heads are hanging as they walk off the field today. And really, I mean, we know why. Those 3 turnovers by that offense, that's over.